Thank you for joining us. I am Jessica Barbier, your host for the Cox OC Connection. With us tonight from Working Wardrobe's VetNet program is the CEO and founder, Jerry Rosen, and with her is Angela Rickman to share her story about the VetNet program. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies.
Our pleasure. Thanks so much, Jessica.
So Jerry, I wanted to ask you, why now more than ever is veteran services so important?
Well, this is a critical time for our country. The reduction in force for the military is in high gear, and while it's happened over the last 2 years, the greater number of veterans coming back this year, for the next 5 years, will be enormous numbers coming back to our shores. And we're not prepared to welcome this number back. So the more we can do every day at Working Wardrobes, and the more we can see more veterans and prepare for them, the better the veterans are going to be. It's a very tenuous time, very fragile time for our veterans.
And what kind of numbers are you seeing specifically here in Orange County?
Well, this year we're going to serve 500 veterans at Working Wardrobes VetNet, but California is home to 25% of the veterans in our country. So we know that even those numbers from Pendleton and our other bases, the greater numbers are going to be coming in these next few years. So we'll literally see thousands and thousands of veterans. Now, not everyone is going to be served by VetNet. We really are serving people who have found some difficulties in making that transition, but we also want to get in front of the problem and see if we can find the newly transitioning veteran to help them before any of those difficult challenges are in their way.
25% of the population is just a staggering number.
It's huge.
So let's talk a little bit about VetNet specifically. How long has it been around? A little bit about the background and the mission.
We've been serving veterans for the past 8 years, and VetNet started 2 years ago when we learned of the reduction in force. And of course, we had a wonderful volunteer who was with us, Harry Humphreys. Harry is a retired Navy SEAL, and he poked around for a couple of weeks, and finally I said, Harry, let's have a conversation. What are we not doing enough of at Working Wardrobes? And he said, we're not doing enough to serve veterans. And I said, I think you're right, we're doing the same kinds of things. So we put together an entire program. Harry helped us get our first federal grant with the Department of Labor. We put together a team that is just extraordinary, and we're now going much broader and much deeper in assessments and an individual employment plan, a great number of workshops that address issues that veterans face, and now we're doing a lot of job placement, so we're actually getting our veterans back to work.
And serving veterans for 8 years, I know you have so many success stories. Do you have a couple favorites that just pop to the top of your mind?
Well, there are a lot of them, fortunately, and a couple that pop to mind are some of our veterans who have decided they wanted to go into security. They have a great background in that. And one of our veterans came in a couple weeks ago, and his name was Jesse, and I said, Jesse, how's everything going? He said, Jerry, I'm so happy. He said, I'm actually working 2 jobs. And I said, that's a lot. And he said, I know, but I'm no longer sleeping in my car. And while it sounds so tragic in a way, Jesse made the transition.
Yeah.
He said, I've got my own apartment, I'm paying my bills, I'm taking care of my family. And he said, I'm the happiest I've been in a long, long time.
I love that.
Yeah.
And speaking of success stories, we have Angela with us here today.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us. And I know you have such a great story. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey after your time served?
Well, after my time served, I moved to California about a year ago. And basically I was struggling, trying to find a job and just try to put my MOS, which is basically your specialty, what you did in the military, and just try to incorporate it back into the civilian sector. So, coming to California thinking that, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna make this happen, I kind of fell on hard times because, it's very hard to get started here. It's very hard to get on your feet and to really get situated. So I ended up going to VetNet for their assistance and for their help.
And what did you find at VetNet that was the most powerful experience?
Wow, I went in there to try to find a job. I got more than my share. I was talking to Jerry about the Women's Power Up program. That was I recommend that, highly, highly recommend that for anybody. Also, it's just They have backup classes. They have classes in every area, such as computer, Excel, data entry, which is good. It's good refresher courses if you have it, but you know, you come out of there learning something new, and you meet new people. And since I'm such a people person, you know, just anywhere there's people, I like just being there.
I can relate. Yeah. Jerry can too. So obviously there's vital needs that need to be raised, and you have a VetNet night coming up and will help raise funds for these great programs. Can you tell us a little bit of what this event's about?
This is an over-the-top event, Jessica. First of all, we're going to have it on board the USS Iowa in San Pedro Harbor.
Great venue.
Great venue, and the dinner will be served on the fantail. So you can only imagine this. I mean, this is really an exciting place. So you have a chance to have a tour of the ship. We're going to have a reception, and we've got aerial flying going on over the turrets. And we've heard word that there may be a mock attack of our SEALs. They're going to take over the ship. So I think you really want to be there.
That's a good sneak peek. So if our viewers at home want to go to VetNet Night, or they want to volunteer or learn more, where can they go for more information?
Everything is on our website, workingwardrobes.org, or certainly we'd love to have them call us at 714-210-2460.
Well, thank you so much, Jerry, for being here, and Angela, thank you so much for sharing your
pleasure.
story. Very much appreciated.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and we'll be right back.
Challenging.
Complex.
Magnificent.
American.
Incredible.
Engineering marvel.
Fascinating.
Distinctive.
Historic.
Beautiful.
People don't realize that this is one of America's national treasures.
And all my uncles are World War II Navy veterans,
My uncle had served in the 40s on the ship.
and he used to tell us stories when we were kids about it.
It's been really an honor to meet with some of the crewmen and hear their stories.
It just really got me in the heart to come here and be a part of history.
The kamikaze was hit early and it missed us about 100 yards.
A sense of pride, number one. Number two, we did good. Number three, it was an honor.
It's a little extra special for me because of that time I spent aboard.
It's like going home.
It defies the imagination. You have to see it.
Yeah, very, very impressive. There's no way to describe it accurately unless you've seen it.